Hello, guys. Welcome back and thank you so much for being here. What's going on? Please like and share this video. So, Simon Guobadia is having the worst of times. Let me tell you, the worst, because it's been reported that Simon Guobadia has been finally deported back to Nigeria after spending like 3 months in ICE detention center. Okay, this guy, I'm sure the entire time that he was there, he was fighting tooth and nail to get himself to stay, but looks like it didn't work. And Simon has been deported back to Nigeria. This story was confirmed by his um, friend and business partner. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Ultimately, this is a bad situation, not necessarily for him, for his children, because it's going to be a while, before he will get to see them. But let me go ahead and share my screen here. Simon, I guess Porsha William is happy now. I guess Porsha finally got what she wanted. So let me go ahead and read this. So it says, this article by Bossip says, Phone Porsha ASAP. Simon Guobadia departed back to Nigeria after being released from ICE custody. So the article says Porsha Williams might be breathing a sigh of relief now that her estranged husband Simon Guobadia has been deported back to his home country. Us Weekly reports that the businessman is back in Nigeria after several months in ICE custody. His friend and business partner Tai Sivet confirmed to the outlet that Guobadia was flown back to Africa just a few days ago and is in quote-unquote good spirit despite his first time detention experience. So continuing the article saying, in an interesting twist, Us Weekly reports that Guobadia is hoping to meet President Trump, and is not angry with him over being deported. Guobadia's friend Savet added that Portia's ex is now pursuing a new business venture. He's now pursuing a new business venture, selling shirts to support individuals held in ICE custody. So Simon Guobadia was released. So this is from the Bravo Shade Room, and it says Simon Guobadia was released from ICE custody and deported back to Nigeria. Simon Guobadia is not mad at President Trump and will like a sit down with him. That is so hilarious. So reportedly, this is the picture on the left is the selfie taken by Simon Guobadia. This was after he was released, and obviously the one on the right is the one he took some years ago, in his heyday. So according to the Bravo Shade Room, it says, sorry guys, the noise. According to Bravo Shade Room, it says, according to Us Weekly, Simon Guobadia was released from ICE custody and deported back to his home country after spending months at a detention center. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security website no longer lists Guobadia as being in their system. Us Weekly obtained a selfie taken by Simon on Monday, June 9. Guobadia's friend and business partner Tai Savet tells us that the Nigerian-born businessman was sent on a flight back home a couple of days ago. Savet said Guobadia 61 was in quote-unquote good spirits after a tough experience at the detention center, which was the first time he had ever been behind bars. Guobadia and his team launch a new business where they will be selling shirts that will help people in ICE custody. Oh, Simon, that sounds like another grift to me. But I don't know. I mean, whatever works. Adebukola said this is sad. I agree. I really do agree. I was not expecting this outcome. I was hoping for something different, for a different outcome. Again, not necessarily because of Simon, you know, but because I think really it was his greed. If Simon had not pursued citizenship, he probably would still be here today. And especially if he had not gone after Porsha looking for fame, because he already has fortune. He was already like loaded. If he wasn't looking for fame, he would probably still be here by now. But now he's in Nigeria, and his children are not going to, no telling, unless of course he can fly them. I mean, I don't know his pocket. I don't know. Like, I'm guessing that most of his monies are tied up in America and in real estate. Like, I just have so many questions. Like, I'm wondering, now that he's no longer here, what happens to his home? Because remember, he and Porsha have been in court, trying to like battle it out with regards to who gets the house in Atlanta. So I guess now that Simon is in Nigeria, the possibility of Porsha owning that home, the possibility of the court finding her finding in her favor is more likely than Simon, who's all the way in Nigeria. And I mean, good luck trying to get the lawyer to do right by you, because even in when you're in the country, it's still hard for you to get a lawyer to pay attention to your case, let alone when you are like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away. So for me, I really feel like all of this is on Simon. Simon did this to himself. Simon did this to himself. The fact that Simon continued to insist on getting citizenship, and then in addition to knowing that there is a history, whether the allegations about you using someone's documentation or whatever is real or fake or false, the fact that you were so greedy that you got yourself in a reality show. Like, if you watch reality shows, right, a lot of people who have been able to carry out their crimes, a lot of people who have committed crimes, who have gotten away with their crimes, they get greedy because they've made so much money. They want to gain fame as well. They've made fortunes through illicit dealings or whatever, and now they want to gain fortunes. They want to gain fame. Guess how the quickest way to land them in prison? True reality show. Because the minute you're on reality show and you are flaunting this flamboyant lifestyle, attentions are going to be drawn towards you. People are going to be questioning what you do for money. Look at all the people who have gone to jail, who have gone to prison for crimes, most of whom would have gotten away with it had they not been affiliated to reality shows and reality TVs. I don't know what came over Simon. I don't know if it's the village people that finally got to him. I don't know what came over Simon. I don't know why he got with Porsha. Whether Porsha is directly responsible for calling ICE, as a lot of people have claimed, or whatever, there is no there is no doubt in my mind that all of this, him being in Nigeria now, is as a result of his affiliations to Porsha. One way or another, Porsha is responsible for Simon being deported. And this is just my opinion. I don't have any proof to any of this, but I'm just going by the fact that this man has lived in America for 40 years, okay? The documentation, the paper that they're now claiming belonged to someone else, he came to America under a different name, but he was able to get his green card under that name, and he was able to renew his green card under that name. His issue really started the minute he got with Porsha. Okay, that's when his issue started. And I guess this is God's own way, karma, the universe, or whatever. I guess this is his own way of really, really, I guess this is karma's own way of dealing with him. Because look at, Porsha was not the only woman that he tried to use to get on TV. Fallon also, when he realized that, I don't even know their story. Their story is weird. I don't even want to delve into that story because I don't want to paint Fallon to be some kind of victim, because in my opinion, Fallon is no victim. But I don't know, or I don't really understand the reason why Simon was so adamant about being on TV. So if you know your hands are not clean, if you know you are actively doing all kinds of things, then you should not be on TV. Or if you know that you have some kind of legal issues, whether merited or unmerited, you should not be on TV. You should do all your best to avoid being on TV, because the spotlight will be shown on you, and then people will get to see, people will be curious. Okay, people will be wondering, is he a Nigerian prince or African prince? Or people will ask questions. Like, he did this to himself. Like, Simon literally has nobody but himself to blame for how his life turned out. And again, like I said, my only feeling is towards his children. They're not going to see him for a while. And that is actually really sad, because I also know that he loved his children. He really, he loves his kids. And the fact that the distance is going to affect how much time they spend together is crazy. So, and I feel like Porsha, even if Porsha does get the house that has been in dispute for some time, will she be able to maintain it? She's probably going to put it on the market and sell it, because she's not going to be able to maintain it. She's not going to be able to, like, you know, do what the house needs or whatever. But yeah, this is Us Weekly that reported the story. So let me go ahead and read this. It says, the title says, Real Housewife of Atlanta, Porsha Williams, ex Simon Guobadia, released from ICE detention, deported back to Nigeria, exclusive. So it says, Porsha Williams' estranged husband Simon Guobadia was released from ICE custody and deported back to his home country after spending months at a detention center. Or Us Weekly can exclusively report. Guobadia's friend and business partner Ty Savet tells us that the Nigerian-born businessman was sent on a flight back home a couple of days ago. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security website no longer lists Guobadia as being in the system. Us also obtained a selfie taken by Simon on Monday, June 9. Savet said Guobadia, 61, was in good spirits after a tough experience at the detention center, which was the first time he had ever been behind bars. So this is the selfie that he took and sent to his friend, the one that his friend provided to Us Weekly, who then spread the word. So continuing, the article say, Guobadia and his team launch a new business where they will be selling shirts that will help people in ICE custody. Back in February, Williams' ex was taken to the Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, about 2 hours outside of Atlanta, as part of the government mass deportation effort. Guobadia moved to the United States in 1992, but reportedly overstayed his visa. He left the country but came back and overstayed his visa a second time, according to a local report. WSB-TV reported that Guobadia was deported in 1992, but was granted permanent resident status the same year when he used an undisclosed identity. He attempted to gain citizenship. He attempted to gain citizenship over the years, but was shut down each time. William, 43, filed for divorce from Guobadia in February 2024. Following 15 months of marriage, the exes went back and forth for months over William's request for exclusive use of their marital home. The judge sided with William and ordered that she could live in the home until a final decision is reached in the divorce. So the exes are set to face off at a divorce hearing later this week, with Guobadia being allowed to appear via video due to his deportation. The reality star and her ex are fighting over the prenuptial agreement they signed before they walked down the aisle. The hearing has been postponed several times, partly due to Guobadia's detention. After he was taken into custody, Guobadia asked for the hearing to be postponed to allow him time to attend. His lawyer argued the motion to enforce the prenuptial agreement is a substantive motion that requires findings of fact by this court. The outcome of the motion will also have a substantial effect on how the remainder of the divorce case proceeds, as it may be dispositive of some of the issues and result in litigation on others. The judge granted Guobadia's motion and rescheduled the hearing for June 11. The order instructed ICE agent to transport Guobadia to the hearing if he was not released. For her part, William filed a motion requesting permission to attend the hearing via video. The Real Housewife of Atlanta's lawyer told the court, William is a well-known reality TV star personality, a career in which last-minute travel and unexpected opportunities frequently arise. Okay, so they have a case, they have a court, um don't tell me where to go, don't talk to me, okay? Matilda, don't tell me anything. You are being rude, okay? You're being rude. Don't come here ordering me anywhere. You want to go watch whatever, then go watch whatever. Stop it. Stop the rubbish. Don't do that on my page. You will be blocked. Telling me go this and go that. Why don't you go there and watch that, Matilda? So you want me to ignore my own feelings about this and go to where you think the conversation agrees with your train of thought? Don't do that here, okay? Don't try that. You will be blocked. Some of you are so bloody rude. So, what was I saying? I was going to say that at the end of the day, I don't know how the judge is going to rule in this situation, but this is a really, really sad, pathetic situation. This is really, really sad. I hope that a lot of people, like a lot of Simons out there, I hope that they are smart, okay? I hope that they are smart enough to see what's going on now. Some people can be blinded by love and blinded by whatever. I don't know what led to Simon, because Simon could have lived his life flying under the radar and will still be in America today. Okay, but for some reason, he figured he needed to be with Porsha and also to be on TV. I don't know, because everything that has happened here, none of this has favored him. None of this situation has favored Porsha, favored Simon. So I won't even be surprised if on account of his deportation, the judge favor just on account of his deportation. Like, the situation is so freaking sad. It is so sad. It never should have been like this. It never should have happened this way. This man was so desperate to be on TV for whatever reason, I don't know. He could have just continued to fly under the radar and nobody would have known, nobody would have suspected, nobody would have even gone after him the way that they have gone after him now. He did this to himself. Simon did this to himself. I don't know if I will call this greed. I don't know. I don't even know how to categorize this. And the children now, who knows when next they're going to see their dad? Who knows? So, me personally, I feel like Porsha has a hand in how Simon was deported. It's just my opinion. Do I have evidence to back this claim? No. But I'm going to say it anyway, because this is how I feel. Okay? I feel like Porsha has a hand in Simon's arrest by ICE and subsequent deportation. That's just what I feel. And I do hope that his friends at least try to help. I do hope that his friends at least try to rally around him and see if they can get him help. And I do hope that they continue to help, that even now that he's not here in America, hopefully something will be able to happen so that Porsha does not take this man's property. That's my hope, that she doesn't take his property and take everything, because he still has kids. So yeah, anyways, that's the update. Simon, you did this to yourself. You have no one else to blame but yourself, okay? You have no one to blame but yourself. Yeah, in my mind is telling me that Porsha has a hand in this, because she, at some point, she got really vindictive. It was so obvious the way that she was carrying on, that yeah, she's, in my opinion, based on the way that I see her, okay, she's very capable. She got so vindictive, and she's very capable. And I hope that the judge will take into consideration the fact that that man already had that home before Porsha came into that home, so that he or she, whoever the judge is, doesn't just give her everything because she's the one in America. And now she's even asking that she can do a video call, that she can do a video hearing, because she doesn't even want to go to court either, because there is no sense of urgency anymore. Her biggest threat in the whole situation has been deported. Porsha is, like, in my opinion, like, she's wicked. Like, seriously, she's wicked. This man could have sailed under the radar, and no one would have even suspected. No one would have even known. No one would have even checked for him, Simon. And now he's in Nigeria. Look at him. I mean, he's still trying to smile. I mean, I guess this is one of those situations where you can say, thank God we don't look like what we've been through. I mean, me looking at this video, looking at this picture, this selfie, I wouldn't, like, you can't tell that he's been in detention camp for like 3 months. I don't know what got into Simon. I don't know why, he felt a need to, like, I don't know why. And then people have been trying to, like, tie his deportation, his first deportation, and the green card thing, his legal issues. Now they're trying to tie it to some type of fraud, that he was doing fraud or whatever, because that's the narrative that fits better. But according to what has been reported, according to what's in the document, he wasn't being arrested. He didn't have his legal issues because of any type of fraud. The only reason why he had his issues was because, he overstayed his visa the first time, he overstayed his visa the second time, and then the third time he came in with an unidentified name, and then that's where his legal, it had nothing to do with, African prince fraud or whatever. But that's the narrative that people are trying to sell, because that's the one that make more, that's the one that is going to create a lot of buzz. Oh, he's an African prince and blah blah blah, the narrative. But this guy, he seemed like somebody who just works really hard for his money. And as you can hear from what has been reported about the case, he's never been charged, he's never been sentenced to any prison, overstaying his visas, which a lot of people do. Sometimes you're lucky, you be here for 200 years, and then nobody asks you for your whatever. But then other times you're not lucky. In 1992, you get deported for overstaying your visa. Okay? So somebody say he no see people before he go marry Akata. We are not doing that here. Oh. Black Americans are humans. Me, I don't have any problem with marrying Black American. Black Americans are our brothers and our sisters. I don't have a problem with our brothers and our sisters marrying Black American. In fact, I love it. I love our cultures blending. But Porsha was a bad choice, honest to goodness. So yeah, all this one about seeing people before you go marry Akata. No, we're not doing that over here. Okay. Black Americans are our brothers and our sisters, and they are our people as well. So for me, Porsha, in my issues, that Porsha was just the wrong person that he married. The wrong person. you know Somebody she says, but their mentality is too different. She's wicked, but they are not all like that. Okay, just like our own mentality, sometimes our people too do bad things. Sometimes our people too also have bad mentality. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not be prejudiced in that way, because they are good and bad in every community. Jesus, you never see some our people where they marry our people where they put pepper soup water for the spouse eye, figuratively and literally. They go make the spouse life a living hell. It's not about that. So at the end of the day, the only thing is that we pray. Let's just pray to have good partners. That's all that matters, because there are good and bad in every people, in every creed, in every walks of life. Just pray to have good spouse, good partner, to meet good person, not wicked person, because they exist even in our culture, even in our so-called people, you know, in this context. Like, I'm assuming you mean like Nigerian. Yeah. You never see Nigerians where they show their husband. No, Porsha was just a really bad. She was just a bad idea for him. She was a bad decision that he never should have made, especially considering the fact that she is also, and that's another thing that make me feel like, anyway, let me reserve that. Porsche was just a really bad choice for Simon. But like, her heart is not in the right place. Like, she'll marry anything for money. She'll marry anything to get ahead. And people like that, they are very dangerous people. If they feel like rolling over you will get them what they need, they will roll over you like so quick, your head will spin. you know. So Porsche was just a bad idea for Simon. That's the only downside that I see in this. And also, now that they're trying to spin it and make it seem like though, oh, he committed fraud or whatever. No, he overstayed his visa. He didn't steal from anybody, which is the narrative that they're trying to spin with this whole African prince mentality. They're trying to make it seem as though he was a fraudster, like in the real sense of the word, like he's a scammer or whatever. He was none of those things. He was not a scammer. He was none of those things. He overstayed his visa twice. And then after overstaying his visa twice, he came to America. Maybe it was a different name. In our culture, and this is another thing, in our culture, we have up to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 names. Maybe he used a different name than the one that, we don't know. And this is the thing that really pains me for Simon. The fact that they are trying to spin the narrative and say, oh, he's committing fraud, he's he's a scammer. No, he's not. Okay? He's not a scammer. So that's the only thing that really, really is crazy. But that's a narrative that fits people's ideology. Oh, let us say he's a scammer because that sounds better. Because people already have their predisposed hate against Nigerians, they will just run with that narrative that, yeah, he's a scammer. This one fits better. This is going to prove whatever point we're trying to prove. That's all I see anyways. But yeah. Porsche was a bad idea. Porsche would date an Oompa Loompa, marry an Oompa Loompa if it will get her from point A to point B. And should be avoided. Women like that should be avoided. Run away from women like that. Run for your life. Run for 40. But yeah. Anyways, I wish all the best to Simon. I hope that he and his children can find a way to like reunite, because that's the only thing that really matters to me at the end of the day, that they continue to have a relationship. He says he doesn't mind having a sit down with President Trump. Simon, you did para. You did para. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment, like and share. Catch you later. Bye.